If you feel like watching an anime where the main character is betrayed by his friends, or even by the person that he loves, but then he comes back overpowered so he can have his revenge, then this video is for you, because that's exactly what we are going to take a look at. I'm 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐶, and without any further ado, let's get right into it. Arifureta, from commonplace to world's strongest. On this beautiful show, our main character was reincarnated into another world, alongside with his whole classroom. And right at the start, he was betrayed by one of his friends, which made him fall into the depths of the dungeon. And after almost losing his life countless times, he managed to survive, and even team up with other people so he can have his revenge. And guys, I need to tell you that this anime is kinda weird sometimes. There are some parts of the anime that are sassy Baka, but overall it's a good anime to watch and the main character gets extremely overpowered. So give it a try. Vinland Saga. This anime has a lot of blood and a lot of people losing their lives, because after all it's an anime about Vikings. So if you don't like that type of thing, you can always go to the next anime on the list. When this anime starts, the protagonist of this story is still a child, and his father is the strongest Viking alive. The problem is that his father was fed up of participating in the war, so he decided to run away with his family. Thanks to that, they lived a long time in peace, far from the wars. This until one day. Because one day, a guy named 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐶 betrayed his father and killed him. And from that way onwards, our protagonist will train every day, and do everything possible so he can have his revenge. And I must say that this anime has a lot of beautiful fight scenes. So, if you want to see a well-animated fight, you should consider watching this one. The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated into another world as an aristocrat. And as you know, the longer the name, the better the anime. And as title says, this anime tells the story of a guy that was reincarnated into another world as an aristocrat. But before being reincarnated, our protagonist was the best assassin on his world. And he was not simply reincarnated, because before reincarnated he had a conversation with God. With the goddess actually, and she gave him a mission. He will be reincarnated with the highest status that a human can possibly have, and with memories from his previous life. But in exchange, he must kill the hero. This because after saving the world from the Demon Lord, the hero will be consumed by his powers and destroy the world. Oh, and by the way, before being reincarnated, our main character died because he was betrayed by the organization that he worked with. And if you are thinking that the mission of our main character after being reincarnated will be easy, it really won't, because although he has the highest status that a human can possibly have, the hero is almost a monster, so he has even overpowered stats and a ton of powerful abilities, while our main character only has one S-tier ability. So, to compensate that disparity in strength, our protagonist will train every day, so he can get strong enough to kill the hero. And if you want more recommendations on what isekai animes to watch, I made another video where I show you 10 new isekai animes that you must watch in 2021. So, if you are interested, don't forget to take a look at it after watching this one. Devilman Crybaby. This one is a masterpiece made by Netflix. So, Netflix, if you are watching this video, please don't sue me. I promise that I will only say good things about this anime. So, now that I won't be arrested, let's talk about this show. In this world, demons exist, but humans don't know that. Because although they are strong, they are also smart. So they take a human form and remain hidden. So our protagonist was a normal man, and one day he went to a disco alongside his friend. And on that disco, something not beautiful ended up happening. Because the demons decide to attack and kill all humans there. And on the midst of confusion, our protagonist was possessed by one demon. And it wasn't a normal demon, it was the most powerful demon alive. But our protagonist is a protagonist, so he somehow managed to control the powers of the demon. And now that our protagonist has control over the most powerful demon alive, you may ask, so 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐶, when will he be betrayed? And about that, my handsome weeb, I can guarantee you that he will be betrayed, but I can't tell you much about that because it will be an enormous spoiler. So with that out of the way, let's get to the next one. To the band of sacred beasts. The world was at war, and for the sake to end war, special humans that could transform into powerful beasts were created. But although you may think the anime isn't exactly about war, with these newly created humans, the war finally ended, and the world was finally back at peace, or at least that was what humans thought. The protagonist of this story was the leader of the group that could transform into beasts. And one day he was informed that the old members of his group were losing control over their powers and therefore losing their humanity. They were attacking older humans and they couldn't transform back into the human form. And with that in mind, our protagonist received a mission. He was the strongest person of his group, but now he must use his powers to kill his old friends. So, as you can imagine, this anime has a lot of fights and a lot of sad moments. The Rising of the Shield Hero. Guys, if you already watched this anime, you know that I couldn't make a video about betraying without including this one. This story is about a human that was reincarnated into another world. And he obviously was reincarnated to save the world from the demon lords. But he wasn't reincarnated alone. He was transported alongside with other heroes. Each one transformed into a different hero, and our protagonist transformed into the Shield Hero. The problem is that the Shield Hero was known to be the weakest hero, and people really hated him. But although almost everyone hated him, he managed to make a party with another girl, and therefore start his journey to save the world. But as always, there is a problem. You already know that this video is about betrayal, so obviously the story couldn't be this beautiful. After creating the party with the girl and farming a little bit during the day, he went to sleep, and when he woke up, everything that he had was stolen, and the girl that formed the party with him was missing. And soon enough he was approached by the guards and arrested. He soon discovered that the girl was the daughter of the king, and she said that our protagonist tried to do love with her without her consent. And we aren't in April, but this is obviously a lie. Fortunately, our protagonist was a hero, and the kingdom needed him to save the world, so he wasn't killed. But now is where the fun thing starts. Our protagonist is alone, without any money, and he needs to get stronger to save the world and to have his revenge. Dororo. On this show, our main character was betrayed even before he was born. Yeah, that's an incredible achievement, but how is that possible? I will tell you. His father made a pact with demons so he could have the power that he desired, but obviously at a price. And thanks to that, when his son, our protagonist, was born, he was born without anything. He didn't have eyes and not even skin, but somehow he was still alive. And as you may imagine, he don't want the others to know about the pact, so he tried to kill him, but fortunately he was saved by an old man. Some years pass by and our protagonist discovers that he needs to kill demons in order to have his body back. And as he recovers his body, he will get stronger, and hopefully one day strong enough to confront his father. Baka, Braves of the Six Flowers. This one is basically an Among Us game. The demon god was revived, and 6 heroes were chosen by the goddess of fate to stop him from extinguishing humanity. Each hero received special powers, and our protagonist is one of that heroes. Everything is normal until here, right? Because now is when the problem starts. 6 heroes were chosen by the goddess of fate, but when they met up to kill the demon god, there was 7 heroes instead of 6. So, there were one imposter among them. So this anime is basically about all heroes trying to discover who is the imposter, while the imposter is trying to kill them all. Berserk. I'm sure that a lot of you guys love this anime, and although the new anime isn't well animated, and the old anime is old, the movies are truly beautiful, and the story is amazing. So if you don't know this show yet, and you don't mind to watch some blood scenes, you should definitely at least watch the movies. But talking a little bit about the story of the anime, our protagonist was betrayed by his best friend, and now he's being hunted down by demons. And as the story goes on, he will kill a lot of demons, and will get stronger and stronger, until one day he hopefully can confront his best friend. Btooom. If the previous anime on the list was an Among Us game, this one is a Fortnite game, and you will understand why. Our protagonist was a gamer, with his gamer chair and his gamer PC. But he wasn't a normal gamer. He was the best player of a game named Btooom in his country. And as you already know, this obviously until one day, he woke up in a strange plane with a lot of other people. We soon discovered that he was betrayed by his parents, and now, if he wants to survive, he must play a battle royale in real life against other people. and this battle royale that he needs to play in real life right now. It's kinda similar to the game named Btooom that he played. Every player has a green crystal in his hand, and if you want to win the game, you need to collect 7 crystals. And to do that, every player has a bag full of unique bombs that they can use to steal the life of other players. So, in order to survive, our protagonist will need to win this game. Oh, and by the way, in order to receive more anime recommendations, you need to click in this video right here. And this is it for me guys, hope you enjoyed and stay well.